It's time to go beyond the headlines, cause I don't put in overtime just so I can headline. Okay, now it's Fox Sports, I'm live with Renee. Going hard every day, sports rapping every play. Different segments for your favorites, coming at you daily with positive vibes, yeah, we some game changers. Basketball, football, soccer, with different interviews, you never know who may pop up. Listen, only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.
Joining us in our Positive Vibes Only segment here on Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington from out of Maryland, we've got fitness coach and makeup artist Christine Archer. Welcome to the show, Christine. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
No problem at all. So what really made you get into becoming a fitness coach?
Oh, it started, in my childhood. I've actually always been into fitness, but always just had an issue with my weight kind of fluctuating. So always been actively fit, but just kind of weight going up and down. It wasn't until my adult years as a woman, I was married and had 2 kids, and honestly became very dissatisfied with the way that I looked. So much so to the point where I actually went to see a plastic surgeon in order to get a tummy tuck. So it was really, to that point. And funny thing is, I went to the consultation, and the only advice that he gave me was for me to go home and actually work on it. So,
okay.
Yeah, definitely a twist there, right? So I decided to actually take his advice and go home and actually work on it. And from that point on, at that time I was about 37 years old. So 37, after having 2 kids, I actually, did exactly what he told me, went home, got fit, got into the best shape of my life, and actually, came in first place in a bodybuilding competition that I had. So, actually turned out to be a bikini bodybuilder. And from that point on, just decided that I really wanted to help other women, have a true appreciation and gratitude for their bodies.
Wow, that's incredible. What a turnaround. Well, congratulations
you.
to you on all that, because that is something that, especially for women, we tend to, look down on it regardless how much you weigh. I mean, I've always felt my whole life I was too skinny. A lot of people feel like they're too fat, they're too curvy, their hips are too, there's always something that we're always nitpicking at, because in this world, I feel like, especially with social media, there's this constant reminder of what, quote-unquote, being beautiful looks like. So hats off to you for finding your beauty and being comfortable in the skin you're in. So
thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. How long did it take you to go from the moment that you were unhappy and in that consultation office to being a bikini bodybuilder and turning your whole life around?
Actually, it was interesting because I went to go see him, and then from that point when I left, literally, just his words just really, it just really sank into me in terms of just going home and really focusing and working on it. So once I actually made up my mind, it actually took me probably several months, but I would say probably about 4 to 5 months. So it just goes to show you that, once you put your mind to it, you can actually do anything that you really want to. You just really have to have the motivation and the actual focus. And I guess I just really needed someone to tell me, listen, you just need to go and work on this. There's no reason to undergo surgery, and just to kind of, really go through the work. And I'm really thankful that I did, because it really did give me a true appreciation for what I could actually accomplish.
And that is exactly what I was hoping you would say, because I think that's another big key is in less than a year, essentially, once you put your mind to it, of course, you were able to completely turn turn things around in terms of how you looked at yourself and your perspective of yourself. So it's not something that has to be a drastic, surgery, or on the other end take years to do. So what exactly for you? What were really the main things that you took to make that next step in focusing on, because I think another misconception is that it's a big requirement. And I feel like based on your success that maybe it was just some small lifestyle changes, but I don't know. What did you change?
Well, I definitely agree in saying that it was definitely a lifestyle change. I would say the number one change was that of my mindset. because before going to him, I honestly had convinced myself that the only way that, you know, I would ever get six-pack abs or get a body that I felt that I wanted was to undergo surgery. So that was the frame of mind that I had, so I kind of worked from that. So, you know, actually going to see, you know, a physician, someone who's actually, you know, licensed to do this. And, you know, one of the other things that he said to me, he said, you know, listen, if I was in the business of taking your money, it would be no problem for me to take your money, but I'm not in that business. So, you know, his advice, you know, it came from a reputable person, which I felt, you know, who had good values and was not just going to just take my money because I said I wanted to have this done. So once he, you know, I guess in a sense he kind of gave me permission to change my mindset. So I would say the biggest thing was actually changing my mindset. And once I actually changed that, I think things were a lot easier. So, of course, you know, that had to follow with, you know, having a sound nutrition plan and, you know, eating correctly and definitely, you know, incorporating exercises and, you know, strength training and, you know, doing adequate cardio to actually get me where I wanted to go. But I would have to say the number one change was really changing my mindset.
I love that. Changed mindset and approach led to a changed life. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you touched on, I mean, being later in your 30s, having 2 kids, trying to figure out, you know, what you can do to make yourself happy and be happy with how you look. And abs was something that you just mentioned. I know you do have your steps to getting abs after having children. How did you come about that, and what are they for those that are listening? Because I was fortunate enough to be able to see the 8 steps. But for anyone that's listening, what are those 8 steps, and how did you come about discovering them?
So I think, you know, the steps in order to get abs, like I said, you know, number one thing is really just changing your mind and really just believing that you are capable of getting healthy and capable of being fit. And I would say, you know, one of the other steps is just really loving yourself right where you are and having an appreciation for your body. I would say that would be another one of the steps that, you know, that kind of got me there. And then after that, it's pretty much just the same things that you will really hear commonly, which is, you know, definitely incorporating a sound nutrition plan. So really having an understanding of food and how food really, you know, affects your body. Definitely incorporating strength training. A lot of times, you know, I notice that, you know, women tend to go to the gym or they, you know, want to be what I would call cardio bunnies. So they're, you know, constantly.
It's a good way to put it.
Yes, you know, they're just constantly either on the treadmill or they're, you know, on the step mill or on the bike or, you know, things like that. And they're just so afraid of actually lifting weights. And I would say strength training is definitely one of the steps in order to get there. Now, the funny thing is, what I will say is one step that is not required is doing 1,000 crunches a night. Many women that I talk to, they always say, like, oh, my God, you know, how many crunches do you do? Or how often do you work on your abs? And to tell you the truth, you know, in my, you know, weekly regimen, say if I'm working out during the week, I may work on my abs once, maybe twice. And that is it. Once or maybe twice.
Interesting.
So I would say the number one key is definitely nutrition and finding out which foods really kind of affect you. So those are, you know, those are some of the steps that I definitely took in order to get there.
Wow. Okay. That is something even that I wouldn't have thought of. You know, when you think abs, everyone has, you know, you see all over, even like social media now has all these videos of people, you know, do this to get abs, do this to get glutes, this, you know, whatever it may be, whatever muscle, and it's all these exercises, but it's not all about just the exercise you're doing. You know, of course that's important too, but the diet and nutrition of what you're eating is just as vital, and of course the mindset. So that's incredible. Now, as a fitness coach and a makeup artist, you have the ability to help. I'm assuming you work primarily with women, but whoever you're working with, to feel beautiful. You know, how have you been progressing through that, you know, change of being now someone that is positively influencing others to make sure they feel beautiful about themselves or handsome or whatever, you know, whoever you're working with? So how did you come about becoming a coach and an artist?
Well, I would say, you know, primarily I really want to say that, you know, my legacy is to leave one of, you know, of health and fitness. And I honestly wholeheartedly believe that women can look great at any age. So yes, primarily I do work with women, and you know, and I'm really just on a mission to empower women through fitness and beauty. So in order to do that, I really just work with women who really believe that they can be better than their present selves at that particular moment, who are aspiring to just, to really just make themselves a priority. That's one of the things I do, honestly, speak to women about, is just making yourself a priority. I do believe that when you're healthy and fit, you give yourself permission to kind of put yourself first, which then allows you to be so much better in every other area of your life. I think that, once because, once you're healthy and you're fit, you have a positive outlook about yourself, and, you know who you are, and you are comfortable with yourself, then as women, I just feel like we're just innately and naturally, we're just givers. We like to nurture. Mm-hmm. So in order for us to be effective in doing that, we have to be 100% ourselves. So when we're fit and healthy, I feel like, we're best able to do that. So like I said, my mission is just really just to empower women through fitness and through beauty. And I feel like, when women kind of look at themselves in the mirror and they like what they see, it's an automatic boost of confidence and self-esteem.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I could not agree more. I feel like, first of all, I just went grocery shopping because I was, like, all out of fruits and vegetables in my kitchen. And I was sitting down eating, like, this real balanced meal, and I was like, oh, this feels so good. And, like, what you're saying just resonates with me so personally, because I feel like when I'm eating a balanced diet, I'm getting every check in the food pyramid, and I'm working out, even if it's just, like, walking around my neighborhood, like, doing something active, you just feel so revived and rejuvenated. Like, it's such a great feeling of accomplishment. Like, I did something positive for myself today, where we are always doing for others, and we're always constantly running and putting ourselves last. I mean, I don't have kids or a husband, so I don't know. I'm sure that only gets worse as they get older, but I feel like women tend to naturally, as givers, put themselves at the bottom of the totem pole, whereas you have to make yourself a priority, too, in order to be at your best, to now be able to provide for your kids or your spouse, So I love that concept. That is incredible. So what are you doing now to really help promote that idea of, being okay with putting yourself first? That's something that I think a lot of women struggle with.
I'm really just leading by example. So I am married, and I do have, 3 children, a 15-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So I'm kind of like across the spectrum with,
busy.
And busy, and I do work. So really just leading by example and really just sharing my message, with the world through my, social media handles, with the friends and family that I know, and just, people who just really see me and who know, either my family or they know my life and they know things, the things that are going on. I just kind of share with them in terms of, what it is that I'm doing. I don't hide it. I freely give, information, or people who ask me for, tips, or, how do I manage, or, what are some things that I can eat, and, really give people actionable steps that they can take. A lot of times people feel like they need to make drastic changes, and it really doesn't need to be that. It can be really simple things. So kind of like what you were saying, just maybe at the end of the evening, just really taking a 15, 20-minute walk, especially with it being summertime now, on my Facebook group, I literally get on, on live, and I actually work out with the audiences. So, and this is just, hey, you just hop on, and you want to work out with me, hey, let's work out. I give tips, I send out, fitness plans that people can follow, things like that, because honestly, I just want women to be healthy. I just know how you can really be so much better when you are, that everyone honestly should be that way. So honestly, the way that I share it is really through just living it. I feel like that's the best way for me to actually share it and show it to everyone.
I love that. So for those that are listening, where can they follow you on social media? You talk about all that you're sharing. Where can they follow to see these messages and follow along with you on your journey?
So basically people can log on to my website, and it's beautyfit.com. So it's beauty with an E at the end, not a Y, -fit.com. They can follow me on Facebook. It's beautyfit.fitness, and it's the same handle on IG, beautyfit.fitness, and that's where they'll pretty much find me. And of course, there are times where I do segments. I've been featured on Good Morning Washington and Fox 45, and So they can definitely catch me on TV whenever I'm on there too. So all of that is kind of shared on my social media handles. Yes.
That is incredible. I love it. So thank you so much, Christine, for sharing that. Again, guys, make sure you follow Beauty Fit. Check out our website. Check out our social media, because I think these are good ways to make small changes in life to be happier, essentially. You know, that's what we all want to do. We all want to be happy in whatever chapter in our life that we're in. So thank you so much for joining us on our Positive Vibes Only segment here on Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington. It has been a pleasure, so thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, and I truly appreciate it.